to be answering different questions. And well, I'll be giving you feedback as we go. Okay, so that you get to know which parts you should be working. So let me see. So remember we said for this question, you guys will get a question that is going to ask your opinion about something. They'll always give you two different choices. You need to choose one of the options and you need to explain basically why you chose a certain option. Now, what matters the most is that you try to be clear when you speak, that you have at least one reason and one example in your response, that you try to answer the question directly, that you don't go off topic, we said, and the different elements we talked about, grammar, vocabulary, connectors, and stuff. Okay, guys, but we're going to be practicing and I'll be giving you feedback as we go. So let's start with guys. Let's start with this question. It says, explain whether you agree or disagree with the following statement. Children should not be allowed to play video games. Then give specific details in your argument. Now you guys will have 15 seconds to prepare your responses. Okay, guys. So is there anyone who would like to go first? Anyone who wants to try answering this question in the 45 seconds?
Teacher, excuse me. I got a question. We cannot agree and disagree at the same time, right?
Yes, correct.
Or could we give an argument about why agree and another about why disagree?
No. You need to make sure that you always go for one of the options. You either agree completely or you disagree completely. I know that technically speaking, this is an open question, so there are many different ways of answering it, right? But in order for it to be, for your position to be clear, for the listener to understand and your response to have clarity, it's always more recommended to go with one option. That is the way that you're going to structure your response better, and that's the safest way. So it's always better to just agree or disagree. Remember that this doesn't have to necessarily reflect your honest opinion. It just has to be the easiest way to answer the question.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, is there anyone who wants to try them? Maybe we can start doing it together. So first we said that we need an introduction. right? Do we agree or do we disagree?
Disagree, teacher.
All right, and why?
May I prepare my arguments?
Yes, but you have 15 seconds to do so.
Okay.
Okay, so you can go now.
Okay. Well, I strongly disagree with the the argument because of the video games for children increase their creativity and gives them maybe distraction, a healthy way of distraction that they can practice in their lives when they are bored, or well, when they are bored, or maybe when they want to play with their friends and other things like that.
Okay, Rafael, thank you so much. That was really good to be your first try. So, some tips that I can give you. Let's start in your introduction. So you started really strong. I like that. I strongly disagree. Now try not to say with the statement or I strongly disagree only. You have to always say, I agree that, I disagree that. So I strongly disagree that, and then repeat part of the statement. In this case, it's a short statement, so you can say everything. I strongly disagree that children should not be allowed to play video games. That's your introduction. And then your reason was awesome. I think you maybe somehow got two reasons. It's a healthy distraction, and you also said that it increases their creativity. I like both of them, it's perfect. If you're going to use them both as one reason, it's okay, but make sure that you explore them together, right? Now, the only thing or the main thing that I would say is don't forget to give examples. So I would try to shorten your reason a little bit, so make it shorter. So I strongly disagree that children should not be allowed to play video games, since it's a healthy way for children to get distracted, and it also increases their creativity. And then go directly to an example. The details that you use are great, but try to put them into context as to one specific child, as to maybe yours as a personal experience that you have. You can say, for example, when I was a kid, I used to play this video game. You can name one video game, and then you can start giving the details that you gave. When I was bored, it was also a nice activity to do with my friends, and I feel that I am a more creative person now due to I don't know, because of the video games. So don't forget to give examples, to give details, specific details, and it'll be perfect.
Okay, teacher, thanks.
Okay, great. Let's see, let's do another one. All right, this one here says, only digital textbooks should be available for university students. Do you agree or disagree with the statement? Make sure that you give specific reasons plus supporting details in your argument. And now you guys will have 15 seconds. Oh, sorry. And now you'll have 15 seconds to prepare your responses. Okay. So, anyone else that wants to try? Wants to go? Maybe Walter, do you want to try?
Okay, I'll try, teacher. It says that only the digital textbooks should only be available for university students, or does it say that students only should could only use on the digital textbooks?
Exactly.
I'm a little confused about the part.
Okay. So it says only digital textbooks. So that means that students in universities should not have physical books. They should
Okay.
all have digital textbooks.
Okay, teacher, I strongly disagree that because okay, let's start. I strongly disagree this because there is no such thing as the physical book uh, where you can read and take it to your home, even in a library, for example. Yeah, personally, I always enjoy more reading physical books, teacher, than digital books or textbooks, and I think I learned too much more.
Okay, Walter, thank you. So first of all, don't talk to me. Remember that in the test, your response is going to be reported. So try to speak in the most academic way you can. Now, your response was good. Maybe we can talk about, there's always room for improvement. So some things that we can say. First of all, your introduction, this goes for everyone. If you guys have agree or disagree, make sure that you always say what you agree with and what you disagree with. So always say, I strongly disagree that students should only use digital textbooks, for example. Or you can repeat if you want. Remember that the question is on the screen. I strongly disagree that only digital textbooks should be available for university students or for students. You can summarize and paraphrase it a little bit if you want, but try to always say what you agree or what you disagree, so that your response will be clear. Because to be honest, until the last part, I wasn't really sure what your position was. And then your reason was good, but I would try to summarize it a little bit more. Always make sure that you go with more concise, shorter reasons, easier reasons as well. So maybe you're saying that you disagree. You said that you enjoy more reading a physical textbook, right? And taking the text to your home and whatever. So maybe to summarize that, you can say, I strongly disagree since digital textbooks are difficult to use, or maybe they are inconvenient to use. In that way, you can stop there. And then you give your example. You say, for example, when I have to study, I like to highlight the book. I like to take notes. I like to underline the important parts. I like to take the physical books to home. I like to go to a library and borrow books. So that way you're talking about the convenience of physical textbooks, right? Make sure that first, your introduction, you mentioned the claim. Second, your reason is short. And third, that you don't forget the examples and the details. Okay? Yes. Do you have any questions so far? All right. So let's take a look at another question. What we have here says, do you prefer to study alone when you are preparing for a big examination? Or do you believe that studying in a group is a better way to prepare? Illustrate your argument with reasons and supporting details. Now you guys will have 15 seconds to prepare your responses. Okay. Maybe Fernando, do you want to try?
Hey, teacher.
Okay. By the way, if you guys have this type of question, do you prefer? Remember that for your introduction, you have to answer directly. So I strongly prefer to study alone. I strongly prefer to study in a group, right? Depending on which option. So please go ahead, Fernando.
Okay, teacher. Well, I prefer to study alone when I have to prepare for a big examination. It's clear there are a lot of ways that someone could take his preparation for examination, but there is 2 points that explain why I prepare. One of these points is that there isn't interruptions, and the second point is well, I don't think on a second point, but I was trying to argue.
Okay, all right. Well done, Fernando. So, you had a great introduction. I strongly prefer to study alone when I'm preparing for a big examination. Now, as for the next part, you said, well, it is clear that there are a lot of ways in which students can prepare for exams, but I believe that there are 2 points that we should consider. Do you think that that part is really necessary? Is that really answering the question or adding relevant information to your answer?
Not really, but it's a way to contrast what I was trying to say.
Okay, all right, yes. Actually, yes, it's a good way to start. It sounds good. It sounds like something academic. It is clear that, but to be honest, you have only 45 seconds. And as you can see, if you, let's say, use, you don't use the time properly, then you're going to run out of time before you have the time to have to give your reason and to give your supporting details, which is actually what they want. So I would suggest that maybe you skip that part and you always try to go directly to your first reason. It's okay if you want to give two, but you'll give the second as an extra thing if you happen to have extra time. Make sure that you at least have one reason. So I prefer to study alone when I'm preparing for a big exam. Scenes, and then your first reason, which was great. There are fewer distractions when studying alone, right? And that way you already have half of your response completed. And you're just missing your supporting details. So you need to give me an example of what distractions you have when you study in a group, or maybe a time where you studied alone and you learned a lot and you had a good grade in your exam. But don't forget the details. Okay, so my advice would be try to always go directly to your reason, so that you get to finish your response on time. Okay, but other than that, I think it was good. Your delivery was almost, I'd say, impeccable. And the way you sound as well, very academic. So I think you're going on the right path. It's just using the time a little bit better. Hold on. Okay, guys, let's take a
Thank
look
you,
at
teacher.
this question first. It says, some students choose to take courses in a variety of subject areas in order to get a broad education. Others choose to focus on a single subject area. Which approach to course selection do you think is better for students and why? Now you guys will have 15 seconds to prepare your responses. Okay, so maybe Marce, do you want to try?
Okay,
All right.
just need to, oh, sorry. Okay, how many time?
You have 45 seconds.
Okay,
Okay, go ahead.
okay, I think it's better study alone because you need to understand all the parts in one field, and the concentration is better than with many persons. But also studying group has benefits. Wrong. Sorry.
That wasn't the question, right? You're answering the previous question. But this was the actual question. It wasn't whether you prefer to study alone or with people, but whether you prefer to take courses in different fields, different areas, or if you just prefer to focus on one single area. Right? It wasn't about studying alone or studying with other people. First of all, but let's say that you were answering the previous question. You prefer to study alone or in a group? In that case,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so yes, don't worry about it. In that case, well, I don't know. I think you kind of mix both questions, right? Because I like the way you started. I think it's better. And I wanted to say that because the question here is, do you think is better, right? Which do you think is better? So it's a good thing that you answer direct. I think it's better too. Now, you had a good reason. You said that you get distracted, that concentration is better. I would summarize that reason because maybe you spend too much time saying the same in that part. So I think it's better to study alone since concentration is better, and stop yourself. Don't forget your details. I think you guys are forgetting your details. All of you have forgotten. So give me an example. Tell me, for example, when I was in university, every time that I had an exam and I got together in a group to study, we would end up chatting about life, or I would end up playing video games with my friends. We would get easily distracted and they didn't let me study, let's say. Right? So don't forget those details, those examples. Make it personal. Tell me something that you saw, something that you do, something that you did in the past, something that you read, somebody that you know, or give me details in any case, right? What gets you distracted? So don't forget the examples for one. And another very important thing, and this goes for all of you guys, please don't ever add counter arguments. Counter arguments are ideas that object your main point. Your main idea here was that the studying alone is better. So stick to that idea. Don't add any other thing that can object to what you're saying. So don't always make sure that you demonstrate a strong position. For example, in the end, you said, however, studying in a group also has its benefits. Don't say that. Don't talk about the benefits of the other option that you didn't choose. Only talk about the benefits of the option that you did choose. Okay? You guys, any questions? Okay, guys, let's try this one here. It says, some people enjoy taking risks and trying new things. Others are not adventurous. They are cautious and prefer to avoid danger. Which behavior do you think is better? Explain why. Now you guys will have 15 seconds to prepare your responses. Okay. Maybe Mateo?
Oh, teacher. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Um. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't. I didn't prepare my arguments yet. I didn't. I just did it in 15 seconds.
Yeah, I know it's tough to do it in 15. But you have to also learn to improvise because sometimes things like that will happen. You'll take a longer time reading. So do you think you can maybe try to improvise a response?
Um, improvise my response. Okay. I'm gonna try.
Best, don't worry.
Well. Okay.
Go ahead, please.
I strongly. I'm sorry. Um, the people who enjoy taking risky activities are maybe more curious about other things like nature, and I think that's a good factor for trying to discover more things and more ways to distract yourself. So I think it's better to take risk.
Okay, all right, that's not bad, right? So perfect. In this case, some people do this, other people do that. The question is, which behavior do you think it's better? So try to always start in the same way. I personally think it's better to take risks and try new things. And then you had a great reason. You said discovering new things, learning more, having more fun, let's say. You were just missing your example, right? So tell me about a time where you took a risk and you really enjoyed it. Or maybe when a time when you tried something new. You could say, for example, now I am learning to play the piano. I'm taking piano lessons. And then you start elaborating. Okay? So I will give you 15 more seconds, Mateo, and I want you to try again. So please prepare. You have 15 seconds. So, Mateo, you ready?
Okay. Well, I think it's better to um, avoid danger and, well, mm, risk risk yourself trying new things because of you can discover more about yourself and have more ideas about something or some kind of different things to do. Alright. Oh, sorry, teacher. I think my vocabulary right now, I don't know how to like link all the words. I don't know why this is happening right now, but I think I feel nervous maybe.
Yeah. Okay, it's normal because yes, it's true that when you guys talk to me and we're not doing this, like I'm pretty sure that if I ask this question like randomly, you probably would have answered in a more natural way, right? Without thinking too much, but you're overthinking it. Yes, you're nervous. It's normal. It's okay. It's our first practice session. Don't worry, it's fine. We're going to continue practicing throughout this week. So we have 2 more classes. Don't worry about it. Now, the only thing that I'd say for everybody, please don't forget your details. You guys are forgetting. And also keep your reasons short, right? One thing that sometimes lead us to be redundant and to not find the right words is when you try to explain things too much and you try to extend it way too much. So you said, I really liked your idea. You said it's a good way to discover more about yourself. I love that idea. But then you continued explaining, right? You said, and to have better ideas, and you continue thinking and thinking. But once you have your reason, stop there. It's a better way to discover more things about yourself. Stop there and go with your example, right? For example, I'm taking piano lessons, and it turns out that I'm really good at music and that I really like music. And I was only able to know this because I tried something new. I took a risk, I got out of my comfort zone, and now I enjoy music, let's say. Now I know that I'm good at music, perhaps. So give an example that illustrates what you're saying. You take risks and you know yourself better. So I took the risk of taking piano lessons and I know myself better now. Or maybe I took the risk of taking piano lessons and it turns out that music is not for me, but I know myself better now. So don't forget your details and make sure that your reasons are short. Okay, don't overthink too much. Okay, guys, not bad though. Let's try another one. It says, some people think that family members are the most important influence on young adults. Others believe that friends are the most important influence. Which do you agree with? Explain why. And now you guys will have 15 seconds to prepare your responses. Okay. So maybe Walter? You want to try?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, Walter, go ahead, please.
Okay, I would strongly agree with um about family members are the most important influence because they always care about how people how younger adults are growing up, and they know their family since they born, literally. And for example, what example could I do? Let me think. One example, please, teacher. Should I give one example in this case?
Yes, in every place, try to always give examples. It was
Oh.
not bad, but yes, you were missing your example.
Okay, teacher. I wanted to try the previous one to
Yes, okay, we
About
can,
taking risk or avoid the danger.
okay.
I think it's way better to be a person who takes risks at all, because um you can learn some things new, and you can always discover a new passion you didn't know. For example, I had a friend. I have a friend that who started playing volleyball, and he discovered that he was uh great using their hands. So he tried another time to play football, and football is his new passion now. He works as a goalkeeper. That's why I think it's better taking risks and be a lover of risk.
Okay, all right. Well done, Walter. So, really nice. As you can see, when you're not under the pressure of having a timer and you take it more slowly, you guys are totally capable of having the correct structure and giving examples and stuff. It's always easy to come up with an example because it's basically what you already said. Like you were going good with this question as well. You said family members are the most important influence because they know you, because they were born in the same family, right? So talk about some family members you can talk about, maybe. My parents, my grandparents are the most important influence in my life, right? Because they know me. So I have just repeated what I said, but I'm talking about one specific family member. Now, your second response was great. We didn't really measure the time, but I'm guessing it was about 1 minute, 1 and 15 seconds. Not a bad time at all. And you had a great example. So it's basically what you did in the second try, just a little bit more summarized so that you fit it into the 45 seconds. Well done, Walter. It was good. So let's see, let's do another one. It says, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Use details and examples to explain your answer. All children should be required to learn a second language in school. Now you guys will have 15 seconds to prepare your responses. Okay, so perhaps Fernando? You want to try?
Hey, teacher.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. I really agree with the statement of children should be required to learn a second language in school. Not only for the meaning what learning a second language can earn by itself, it's because there are a lot of opportunities once they have learned the second language in school and have more uh, probability to success.
Exactly, probability to succeed or success.
Succeed.
Okay, hold on. So good. I would try to maybe summarize it a little bit. Try not to ask too many things, like not only because of this, but because of that. You're giving two reasons. So try to be a little bit more direct. I completely agree that all children should be required to learn a second language since they have more opportunities and they have more chances to succeed. Then go with an example, right? Don't forget. For example, my little niece is now learning English as a second language in school, and she has already been able to, I don't know, compete in an international um, chess competition due to the fact that she spoke the language, let's say. Right? So I'm talking about one child in specific and how that child had more opportunities because of the fact that they learned a second language. Or you can talk about yourself. I think that would be easier, right? For example, in my case, when I was in elementary school, I learned English as a second language, and now I have more chances of getting better jobs. Maybe you can tell me, because I'm working at X company, I'm working for an American company and earning more because I can speak English, right? Let's say. So don't forget your examples. That's the only thing I would say. But overall, it was good. Marcel, yes?
Yeah, I know. Just one response. I want. I have an answer. My
For this
answer.
one? For this one? For this question?
Yep.
Yeah, of course. So go ahead, please, Marcel.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I strongly agree because learning second language open the brain and I think increment the logical capabilities and communication skills. And also the young children's or the children's has more opportunities to study abroad.
Great, Marcel, nice. Remember, it's children, plural, right? If you want to say singular, child. Un niño, a child. Children, niños. Okay, so you have two reasons, right? You talked about studying abroad and you talked about opening the brain, you said, maybe opening their minds would be better. You said boosting their creativity and communication abilities, right? Communication skills.
Communication skills and logical capabilities.
Logical capabilities. Okay, good. Very complex, but good. Don't forget your examples, though. Where are your examples? Make your reason shorter. I completely agree that all children should be required to learn a second language. Since focus on one idea only. Let's say it increases their chances of studying abroad. For example, I learned English in school and I was able to do my master degree in Canada, right? So you are giving specific details. You're talking about yourself now and how learning a second language gave you the chance of studying abroad. So it's basically the same. It's easy to make up a story because it's the same as what you said. Learning a second language in school, so you learn a second language in school, gives you more chance to study abroad. So you had the chance to study abroad. What did you study? You did a master's degree. About what? You can mention that. Where? Canada. So it's exactly the same, but with more details. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Another one. Some people think that children should be allowed to watch whatever television programs they choose. Others think that parents should exercise control over the television programs their children watch. Which do you agree with? Explain why. Now you guys will have 15 seconds to prepare your responses. Okay. So who wants to try this one here? Anybody? Does anyone want to try? No one reading?
Me, teacher, maybe?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, I strongly agree with that parents should exercise control over the television programs their children watch because of their children are not mature enough, maybe. For example, children can watch any program that is not appropriate for their age. For example, some program with drugs or or not appropriate scenes for children.
Okay, perfect, Mateo. Well done. So I think now you got the structure. You had a great introduction. Strongly agree that parents should exercise control. You had a good reason. And the fact that I mean the thing that I love the most was the fact that you gave examples, right? You talked about what specific programs they can watch that are inappropriate for their age. So you talked about maybe programs with that contain drugs, show violence, and you can give other examples as well. But I think it was good because you had those details now. That's really that's progress. Well done, Mateo. I think I wouldn't change anything. You are going to start giving more details, being a little bit more specific as we go. But the important thing is that now you get used to this structure. Introduction, reason, and example. It was really good, Mateo. Well done.
Thanks, teacher.
It says, some people believe it's essential for a person's education to learn to play a musical instrument. Others don't believe music education is important. Which view do you agree with? Explain why. Now you guys will have 15 seconds to prepare. Okay, anyone that wants to try this one? Anybody? Nobody wants to try? Come on, guys, let's try. Remember, the only way you're going to get better is by practicing and by listening to feedback, of course. No one?
Maybe me, teacher.
Yes, of course, but why not?
Okay, I strongly agree. I strongly disagree with the music education would be essential because I think music is more like a hobby or maybe like an artistic thing that is not um, essential in education. For example, in all school grades, you have to learn some instrument, but at the end, it doesn't serve you. It is not good enough for you.
Exactly, yes. Instead of it doesn't serve you, it's not good enough for you, you say it's not useful, right?
Okay, okay.
It's not useful. Okay, good. So yes, I think you have a good reason. You first of all, your introduction was good. Careful with one grammar part. Remember, I think or I agree that, right? Or I disagree that instead of with. I agree or I disagree that music education is important instead of with music education is important. Now your reason was good, and I like the fact that you have examples, but make it more specific. Tell me, in my case, in my school, when I was in high school, they taught me to play. Tell me about one specific instrument. They taught me to play, let's say, guitar, and it wasn't useful for me. I didn't like it, right? So gave you more details in your example is the only thing I would say. But overall, it was a good response. I think you got the structure. Go shorter with your reason, more details in your example. It's the only thing I'd say. Okay. So do you guys have any questions now that we've practiced a little bit? Remember, we're going to continue practicing this week. So don't worry if you haven't had a chance to practice too much. We have 2 more classes to go. Guys, any questions?
Teacher, I have a question. I didn't listen probably yesterday. Um, will we be able to take notes in the speaking part, in the speaking section?
Good question. And actually, yes, you guys can take notes throughout the entire test. You are more than advised to take notes in the speaking. For sure, you have to take notes. Probably, for this question specifically, it's not so necessary, but yes, you can take notes. But for the other questions of the speaking, you have to take notes. But yes, you can take notes throughout the entire test pretty much.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, 15 seconds maybe are a short time.
I know
to take notes.
it is a short time, but it's just practicing because you will notice that most of the questions are about the same topics, right? So, for example, we have education, preparing for exams, working with groups, assignments, professors, grades. So you're going to start thinking about ideas that can be used in other questions as well. To be honest, I'll talk to you guys about this tomorrow. But we have a reason sheet, and you guys are going to have your own reason sheet as well, where you start writing down the reasons that you consider are very general and can be used in many things, like maybe saving time, saving money, efficiency, productivity, something being safer, concentrating more, gaining more experience, learning, sharing ideas, acquiring knowledge, stimulating your imagination. So those are ideas that you can technically use for many, many questions. And you're going to realize that you can use the same ideas and use the same even expressions or same vocabulary for many questions. So it's just practicing, and you'll notice that it gets easier to prepare your response and also obviously to deliver it as you go. So it's practice. I'll give you guys some more tips tomorrow, and we'll talk about that reason sheet, how to think of reasons fast. Okay, guys. Any other question before we go?
No, teacher.
Okay.
No, teacher, thank you.
Okay, guys. So please don't forget today's surveys. We actually have 2 for today. I'm sending you guys the first, and once you're done, I'll send the other one as well. So please don't go yet. Please fill it out for me. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'm sending you the other one as well. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow in class.
Bye, teacher. See you
Bye-bye,
tomorrow.
guys. Yeah,
Thank you, teacher.
bye-bye.